That thing is gonna make me millions of dollars. I'm probably not gonna make $1 million out of this key light. However, it is one of the key components I need to be able to make videos. Now, why do I need to make videos? Well, let me explain. I've been running a roller skate shop for almost 10 years now, and I do get a lot of questions from my customers about everything from maintenance to repairs and modifications on roller skates. So I might as well share some of the stuff I know through some tutorials on YouTube. During the pandemic, I've watched probably thousands of videos on how to make videos, and I discovered some really creative people and some really fun ways of making videos, as well as some really amazing B-roll. So I decided that I want to learn some of these techniques and try to make some videos for my shop. And since I didn't want to just do some quick and dirty phone cam overhead shots of me fixing skates, I decided that, hey, I might as well go all in and just try to learn as much as possible. Since I don't know how many videos I will be making, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on this. So I decided I might as well try to DIY most of the gear I need and just buy the stuff I know I need to buy. The other thing I thought about was try to document the process and learning filmmaking by doing this while I build the gear I need to build to make the videos for my shop. And since I love building stuff and making stuff, it's perfect. I get to build some fun stuff, I document it, learn how to make videos, and I'm happy. From all the videos I watched, I made a list. On top of that list, the two things that every creator on YouTube talks about is audio, it's the most important thing, and lights, also really important. Currently, I'm filming on an iPhone X, and that's what I have, so that's what I'm going to use for filming. When it comes to audio, I really don't want to cut any corners, so I bought the cheapest of the good ones I could find. So I bought the VideoMic Go 2. It's on the camera right now. Let me do a quick demonstration of how bad it sounds without it. So this is how it sounds when I'm just recording my voice with the microphone on the phone. When I edit the whole thing, I need to boost it up to get the volume up. Doesn't sound good at all. So this is what it sounds like with the microphone connected and some minor adjustments in the edit. It is a lot better. So the audio taken care of, the next thing I needed to figure out was lighting. As you can see, I'm filming this in my workshop and I only have the ceiling lights to light me and my face. And as you can see, there's a lot more light on the background. I'm darker. This doesn't look good at all. It looks like... And when you look at videos from creators on YouTube, they use all kinds of lights. They have a key light, they usually have a fill light, they might have a rim light, anything to separate them from the background. And their backgrounds are lit with some colored lights or maybe some practical lights, and everything looks super smooth. Well, I have to have some lights. I need at least a proper key light and some other lights to help light everything I need to film. But because of the limited budget, I won't be buying any fancy lights, but I do have an LED panel light that is quite powerful. I might as well build a dome for that, a proper light dome that I can attach to that panel light. And this is sort of a construction site panel light, so it's non-adjustable. It has one string, it's either on or it's off, which might cause some problems. But I'm thinking that if I build a light dome for it, then I can attach several layers of diffusion on the front to adjust the amount of light it outputs. So to build this light, I looked online, found some measurements, some sizes, some diameters, and then took all of those measurements and started cutting cardboard. Cardboard is probably the cheapest material you can get, and I have tons of boxes here. So I started cutting up some strips, some cardboard strips that I'm gonna assemble into the dome. So I'm also cutting up some strips to make a case for the panel light so that I can attach the dome to the panel light, but also take it out if I need it for something else. Now, as soon as I cut all the strips I needed, I started assembling all the strips into something that's, well, at least dome-shaped. Using just hot glue and some staples, all we need is something that we can put the reflector material inside and attach the diffusion to. I'm probably going to redo the dome at some point, because just building it this once, I figured out a lot of things that I might want to do differently the next time. So at some point I'm building a version 2, but for now this is going to be just fine for testing it out and see what I can do with this homemade dome setup. So as I finished up the whole dome shape, I started cutting the aluminum foil to line the inside of the dome, and then I had to figure out how to attach the aluminum foil to the cardboard. It doesn't glue really well, but a combination of hot glue and tape was enough to get everything to stick in place. So hopefully the aluminum foil on the inside will reflect enough light for this whole thing to work as a key light. Last part of the dome was making the diffusion in the front, and I'm using wax paper, condiment paper, not quite sure what it's called. So I made the whole shape out of several sheets that I had to try and glue together. Now gluing wax paper is not easy, but with enough force I managed to press the pieces together so they're sticking together quite well here. And then I cut out the whole circle shape and fasten it with the clamps. I mentioned this earlier, the LED panel is not adjustable, it's either on or off. So at some point I have to figure out a better way to fasten the diffuser so that I can put more layers of diffusion on there if I need to either soften or lower the intensity of the light. But that's something I'm going to solve in version 2. So I finally finished the diffusion layer and I managed to attach it to the dome. It barely hangs on, but it's fine for now. This is gonna work just fine. It's there, it doesn't fall off. And as you can see, when I turn it on, there's a lot of light here. So I think this might actually work. But I really need to test it on something, which means I need to hang it from something, which means I need to make a stand. So I threw together a quick stand using some materials I found in the back of the shop. I did manage to make the stand height adjustable. So that's going to help a lot in terms of finding the right distance and some other stuff. But I'm probably going to have to make a version 2 of the stand as well, putting some wheels underneath it so I can roll it around in the shop where I need it. So I just screwed all these parts together. The stand is done, and at some point I'm going to have to make some kind of contraption at the top where I can attach the handle of the lamp. It barely stands by itself and I can move it around without tipping over. I can tilt it 45 degrees sideways, I can hang it straight on and have it shine straight down. And that's more than enough for what I need right now. Let's do a quick test on the product. So here I'm just testing the light out on a set of custom skates made from a pair of Vans shoes. And I'm even filming in slow-mo, and there's enough light for it to do 120 frames per second with the phone, so this might just work. So it's finally starting to come together, and it's starting to look like something. But the big test is going to be as a key light on my face. So I'm going to rig it up over here by the workbench, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, this works. There is light on me, there's much less light on the background. As a starting point, this is perfect. I have not done like any proper adjustments in trying to find the perfect spot for it in terms of which angle I want, if I want it further this way or over there or there, or like any of those things. I just put it up now, there's light on me, there's light on my face, and this works. I am very happy. This really looks like something I can work with. As you can see, there's a lot of spill on the background. I'm currently, since I'm using a phone, I can't see the screen, so I'm mirroring my phone screen on my laptop so I can see what everything looks like. And there's a lot of light on the background. That's going to make it hard to do a sort of a separate color light type thing going on in the background like all of these creators have. But I'm thinking that my next project is going to be a grid for this dome. That way I'll be able to control the amount of spill sideways, so it's more of a focused beam down here on me on the desk. Less light on the background, which means that I can do something with either colored lights or regular light, just finding something that looks nice in the background. So the next video is going to be the grid for the light dome, as well as finding some way of doing a fill light maybe with a light or a reflector, and also some kind of rim light to separate me even more from the background. Trying to make something that looks, well, kind of professional, at least better than what it was before. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Hopefully you found this useful or at least entertaining to watch. This first video took me like over a year to do because I've been filming and refilming and testing and trying and all kinds of stuff in terms of this whole talking head setup. Now that I have something that works, there's going to be a video every week or every other week. This first step, the main key light, this is going to give us enough to work with so that we can start looking at all the other things. And as a first step, this is perfect. So I've finished my first video. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to see what happens next. Press the like button, I would appreciate that. That would be lovely. Any comments, questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you're lucky, you can click here and see the next episode, see what happens when I do the whole grid and all the other stuff. But if there's nothing here, that means that you are one of my first viewers, and I'm really grateful that you stayed to the end. As for me, I have to run and finish the next edits. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video.